Hello, and welcome back for another episode of the Accessible Technology Podcast. I'm your host, Phoebe Slough, and this podcast is all about the ways that we can keep on making everyday technology more accessible for disabled people, as well as covering what everyday technologies are less and more accessible for disabled people, and which also gives technology companies more details on how they can keep on making their technology more accessible. My interest in everyday technology comes from the fact that I am paralyzed from the neck down, which means that I am only able to move my head, and for that reason I have a really passionate interest in the topic because I can only use technology by using a chopstick or a stylus in my mouth. So if you are someone who is also interested in all of that, please make sure to give the podcast a follow if you are able to search for it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify. However, if you'd like to support the podcast and the content I produce in other ways, you can also support it by going over to the Phoebes Now Buy Me a Coffee page, which is where you will be able to give me a one-time donation, find exclusive episodes that aren't part of the podcast, or check out other products that I will be releasing soon. In this podcast, however, we're going to be returning to the Experiment with Adaptive Gaming series that I've brought to you on here before, with a review comparing a budget mounting arm that I made to a Manfrotto variable friction arm, which cost over £100 to buy through Amazon and other stores. And obviously not everyone can afford that in the modern day with the cost of living crisis. So that's why I'm giving you a more affordable option that can be built up over time. However, as this is something that I came up with and that other people haven't done before, all I need to tell you is what everything you'll need will cost if you want to do this yourself, and therefore the things you will need to buy include Manfrotto 196 AB 2 single arm 2 section, which costs £39.95. A Manfrotto super clamp, which costs between £26 to £34.95. A Manfrotto mounting stud, which you can get for £6, although prices may vary, and a small rectangular mounting plate, which will cost you £20 through inclusive technology. And as I said, all of this can be made up over time, so you don't have to be pressured to buy all that go at once. But anyway, now that I've gone through all of that, let me jump straight into how everything was made, as well as the actual review. Please be aware, however, that I originally recorded everything that you're going to hear as I was doing it. So that's why in the following audio you're going to be hearing some stuff that sounds like it's a wee bit out of place as I was filming everything as I set it up. But hopefully everything makes sense and I'll be back to the normal format in the next one. You can also check the video for everything out if it really doesn't make sense. And as I said, everything will be back to normal in the next one. So this is all the stuff that I've bought recently to find out if budget Manfrotto will work the same way as the Manfrotto variable friction arm when using it to play games on a game console if you need help with jumping. So in the brown box we have the single Manfrotto arm that came with this clamp, which made it 65 points overall, and then the triangular plate, when that was added onto it, costed around £20, which for some of you that might not still be a good enough option and might still be a wee bit too expensive, but for a lot of us it will be a huge improvement compared to the other arm, which costs over £100. So it's been a couple of months since I filmed the first part of this, and that was due to a number of things. The main reason was that I had to order a few extra parts, being these Manfrotto 037 camera mounting studs, which took a bit of time to arrive, and after that I had to see about getting help putting it all together. But now that all of that is done, let's see if everything works the same way as the Manfrotto variable friction mounting arm that I reviewed in one of my experiments with adaptive gaming videos, and if it's a good equivalent for a better price. What you're wanting to do is to attach the clamp to the bottom of the arm, and once that is done you will attach the rectangular plate to the end. After everything is connected you'll have to use the circle story thing to move the plate if you can't reach it at a certain distance, and as well as that you would have to use the clamp to help get it in a better position as well. Even at this case you might find it slipping every now and again, but honestly it just depends what you're happy with and if you would prefer paying the extra money for the other arm or go down the budget line like this. So after playing around with this, the good news is that it does do the exact same thing as the more expensive variable friction mounting arm. So if you have problems holding on to buttons at the time when gaming and you want to be able to play those games, but you have a low budget. This is a very good alternative. I was able to do it very well while playing Crash Bandicoot, but I will have tried it on with more games by the time this comes out. So it isn't just them that you will find it useful for. So just to sum up on what's the each part costs, in case I haven't given the right information earlier on in this, if you want to buy the arms separately without the cloud, it will be 39.95 pounds. But if you want the cloud included, it will be 65.95 p. The super components cost between 26 to 31 pounds, but there are deals on them at various parts of the year, and the stud cycles was 6.25 each. As well as this, you have to buy the triangular plate over on inclusive technology, but that costs 20 pounds. Running the overall, this costs 99.55 pence. It is a big alternative from the 179 pounds price point of the variable fixing mounted arm. So now that you've heard all of that, what do you think about the arm that I made? Has it helped you feel a wee bit more comfortable knowing that you can make a similar mountain arm that is slightly more affordable than the original one? But would you like to make it yourself? Well, if you would like to pass on any of your thoughts, you can include them in a review wherever you're listening to this on, as well as via the contact pages over on my Phoebe's Loud Tech Reviews site or over on my other website, phoebeloud.com. If you're interested in watching my accessible technology videos, you can find them by searching for PL Tech Reviews on YouTube. But if you would also like to see a couple of my accessible tourism reviews, as well as my film, TV, theatre reviews, and political videos, you can find them by searching for Phoebe's Loud Journalism on YouTube, and you can also get a podcast version of everything covered on that by searching for the Phoebe's Loud podcast on all of the same destinations as you can listen to this podcast on. And of course, there is also the Buy Me a Coffee page. In the next episode, I'll be giving you a review that I did on the 2021 24-inch M1 iMac, and after that I'll then be bringing you my thoughts on Apple's 2021 M1 13-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pros, which was first uploaded to the YouTube channel on the 8th of November 2021, but I shall later find out I later changed my mind. This podcast is updated 3 times weekly, and I'll hopefully be able to move on to more recent tech news stories as well by using this schedule. So please follow if you're interested in that, and we'll see what happens as time goes on. If you would like to follow me on Twitter, you can do so by searching for @FabeStyle. And you can also follow my Instagram handle by searching for the real FabeStyle. However, you can also follow my FabeStyle Tech Reviews site by searching for PL Tech Reviews on WordPress and following it if you have a WordPress account. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye!